The announcement of the cooperation between Red Bull F1 and Porsche is imminent. Porsche has wanted to enter the sport for a while, and the F1 community has been aware of this. While many believe that the Red Bull-Porsche alliance was most likely, a source has revealed that fans will undoubtedly witness a merger between the two businesses. Long ago, discussions with the Volkswagen company took place. Porsche and Audi have expressed a desire to work with teams to oversee an entry into Formula 1 in 2026, after having shared business partners ExxonMobil. Porsche may be the greatest choice for the Bulls to manage their financial obligations, as they acknowledged. In the past, Christian Horner, the team principal of the Austrian squad, has also acknowledged discussions with Porsche. He remarked, "It is certainly excellent the commitment that VW announced as the parent business to both Porsche and Audi, that both have got the intent to get into Formula 1. Since we're embarking on a new adventure as a power unit producer in 2026, it only seems sensible that we would talk about the possible opportunities for cooperation. There's nothing to report, but it's still extremely early," he added some more. However, what about Audi? Audi might have different interests from the potential engine partnership between Red Bull and Porsche. Audi apparently considered purchasing an existing squad, while Porsche may enter as a brand new one. F1 teams have shown interest in the concept, though it's uncertain whether the German brand will be involved. In 2005, the Red Bull team made its formal F1 debut. However, the team's history can be traced back to 1997. They were then known as the Stewart Racing Team. Sir Jackie Stewart, a quadruple world champion and an F1 legend, controlled the team. He sold the organization to Ford in America, which changed its name to Jaguar Racing. The venerable British manufacturer continued to compete in the sport through the 2004 campaign. The leadership was assumed by Red Bull the following year. In the early years, they were at best a middle squad, but in 2009, everything changed. For the 2021 season, Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez will be Red Bull's drivers. Alex Albon, the team's new test driver, gives way to Perez in the driver's seat. When David Coulthard placed fourth in Australia, they had a decent start to the rookie season. He won his first podium at the 2006 Monaco Grand Prix a year later. Up until 2009, when Sebastian Vettel helped the team take their first victory, a few more sporadic third-place finishes transpired. The club had 6 victories that season and came in second place overall. Then came the crowning achievement: 4 consecutive Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, all owing to Sebastian Vettel. With the advent of the turbo-hybrid era in Formula 1, Red Bull's illustrious reign came to an end. While the team continues to win or claim the occasional pole position, they have struggled to regain their early 2010s dominance. The team had 4 Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, 64 race victories, and 182 podium finishes as of September 2020. The team has competed in 304 races and racked up a whopping 5,043.5 points. After Ferrari, the working-based team is the second oldest F1 team. They share the same grandeur as their Italian competitors. In 1966, 16 years after Ferrari made their debut, they participated in their first Formula 1 race. During their time in Formula 1, the British team produced 7 world champions. 3 of those champions, like Ferrari, have won many times. They're Mika Häkkinen, Alain Prost, and Ayrton Senna. James Hunt, Niki Lauda, Emerson Fittipaldi, and Lewis Hamilton are other champions. Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz Jr. are their current drivers for the 2020 season. Bruce McLaren, the team's founder and driver, earned points in the 3rd race for the team and the 4th race for the championship in the team's inaugural season. In the team's home race at Brands Hatch, he came in 6th. 2 years later, in the Belgian Grand Prix, he also scored the team's first victory. Brazilian driver Emerson Fittipaldi, along with Danny Hulme, Mike Hillwood, David Hobbs, and Joshan Mass, won the first Constructors' Championship in 1974. Niki Lauda and Alain Prost won in 1984 and 1985 as a result. The team of Prost and Ayrton Senna was responsible for bringing home the Constructors' Championship in 1988 and 1989. The Constructors' title was then won by Senna and Gerhard Berger in 1990 and 1991. It was David Coulthard and Mika Häkkinen's time to triumph in 1998, securing what would be McLaren's final Constructors' Championship. Over the span of more than 5 decades in Formula 1, the working-based team has competed in 884 races. The team has won 12 Drivers' Championships and 8 Constructors' Championships, with Lewis Hamilton helping them win its most recent championship in 2008. With 182 victories and 488 podium finishes, McLaren has amassed a staggering 5,555.5 points. With 2 podium finishes so far, the team is currently having one of its greatest seasons in Formula 1 under the turbo-hybrid era. Another team with a long history in Formula 1 is Williams F1. The group's beginnings can be located in 1977. The The team stands out since it has always been run by a family. Sir Frank Williams, who founded the team, served as the team principal for a considerable amount of time. Claire Williams, his daughter, took over as the deputy team principal after him retiring in 2020. The team put up a majority part of the team for sale after a disastrous performance in 2019 and a significant financial crunch in 2020. In August, the team was purchased by Dorilton Capital, a private American company. Claire and her father both announced their departures from Formula One once the team was sold. It was the end of an era for a franchise that had been family-owned for well over 40 years. Williams has produced 7 world champions over the course of its lengthy and illustrious history. There are Jacques Villeneuve, Keke Rosberg, Nelson Piquet, Nigel Mansell, Alan Jones, and Keke Rosberg. For the Grove-based team right now, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi are the drivers. The team will continue to use both of its drivers in the upcoming campaign. They didn't have a strong start in their first year, 1977. However, Alan Jones' 4th place finish in South Africa in 1978 helped them earn their first set of points. Later in the season, he backed it up with a second in the USA. Williams entered 2 cars in 1979, teaming Jones with Clay Regazzoni. The first victory was achieved by Regazzoni in Great Britain, and Jones then won 3 consecutive matches in Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands. Regazzoni finished 3rd and he won again in Canada. They didn't have a strong start in the first year, 1977. However, Alan Jones' 4th place finish in South Africa in 1978 helped them earn their first set of points. Jones won the World Constructors' Championship with Williams F1 in 1980 and 1981. In 1986 and 1987, Nelson Piquet won the Drivers' Championship and they repeated the feat. The British team successfully defended its Constructors' Championship from 1992 through 1994. In 1996 and 1997, they won their last Constructors' Championships. Unfortunately, the team has yet to match its once-dreaded winning streak in Formula One. Williams is a shadow of what it once was 20 years later. The British team is constantly fighting for points. Another team with a long history in Formula One is Sauber. Although Peter Sauber started working on sports cars in the 1970s, he didn't make his Formula One debut until 1993. For making an attempt at Formula One, they competed in various racing competitions. They fielded Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen, who was back in 2019. After the 2020 season, the team's name was changed to Alfa Romeo Racing Orlen. They started off slowly with more retirements than finishes, like most new teams do. However, German driver Heinz-Harald Frentzen won his first podium in Italy in 1995. Then in Monaco and Hungary respectively, Johnny Herbert won the podium in 1996 and 1997. In 1998 at the Belgian Grand Prix, Jean Alesi carried on the tradition for Sauber F1. The following year in Brazil, Nick Heidfeld finished 4th in the championship with rookie teammate Kimi Raikkonen. BMW acquired Sauber in 2006 after the latter parted ways with Williams. Finally, Sauber's first and only victory of their whole career came in 2008 thanks to Robert Kubica. Since then, only Sergio Perez's 2nd place finish at the 2012 Malaysian GP has come close to matching that. At the most recent Miami Grand Prix, McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown was more candid than ever regarding his company's conversations with Audi. He acknowledged that they had discussions about a possible F1 alliance, but insisted that McLaren had categorically rejected selling the team. Initial negotiations with McLaren came to an early stalemate, complicating Audi's plans to enter Formula One in 2026 with its own engine and a team bearing its name. The Volkswagen Group has virtually confirmed a first-time Audi F1 project, which is still pending final approval. Both control and the team name are something that McLaren doesn't want to give up. There is little possibility of a compromise being reached unless Audi's demands change. The initiative has ties to organizations including McLaren, Williams, Sauber, and Aston Martin. However, it was encouraging to learn that Team McLaren allegedly did not want to stop using its unique name. It makes sense that they might even no longer be involved in the discussions.